Good evening, guys. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. My name is Dr. Nanette K. Hartley. You can call me Nan. You can call me Professor. You can call me pretty much whatever you want as long as I know you're talking to me. I just wanted to give you a brief introduction. I'm going to go through almost all of this in class too. I just wanted to give you some information here to show you a few things that I may forget to show you in class. So I'm going to do that by sharing my screen. So let's go ahead and share so you can see one of the shells. Now, this may not be exactly your shell. I have two in-person classes this term. One is full spring, one is fast forward. So this is the fast forward shell, but they're built exactly the same. If you were to enter as a student right now, what you would see is this. Not a lot. If you were to go under content, you would see not a lot. There's a reason for that. There will be a new post that goes up. Actually, you will be able to see it as of your viewing of this video. And that post will walk you through some of the introductory stuff to show you some of the things that happen. And what happens is you're going to come in and take one of the quizzes, which is called the acknowledgement activity. There are a couple of quizzes that you'll need to take in the beginning. One is the scavenger hunt exercise, which you'll need to do after you review the course documents. The acknowledgement activity, which says that you reviewed them. And then there's going to be the lockdown browser test. And I just need you to take that in the event that something happens and you have to take a class when the test's online. That's why it's required. It is a graded assignment, so you need to do that. But once you've done the acknowledgement activity, which I'm just going to run through real quick, because we all know that these answers are not a big deal. I'll let you peruse this on your own time. Again, this is just an acknowledgement that you've looked at all of our happy documents that are available and that you know a few things about the class. So you submit that and away you go. Now, once you've submitted that, regardless of the score that you get, and I wouldn't worry too much about that, but regardless of the score that you get, when you come back to content, things are going to look a little bit different. Right now, what you'll see is exam 1. So exam 2 and exam 3 will go up in the next few days. I found some problems with the slides, so I'm trying to fix those before I post them. So I wanted to make sure that that happened. But this is all the exam 1 materials. This will show you exactly what everything looks like in here. Significant figures, this doesn't have a number that goes with it because this is sort of pre-material. We're expecting that you know how to work with sig figs and how to do the math that's associated with that. You know how to work with scientific notation. If you don't know those things, then this is a review that you can use to get up to speed on that, because those are things that we're expecting that you take from the math side of things. Each section will have a PowerPoint. Sometimes there's some other information in here. This is a video on YouTube of just what density is like, that kind of stuff. At some point, I may be putting up some in-class practice stuff for you to play with. I don't know that that's going to come up here or not. And there will be eventually an exam 1 review sheet. Again, I just need to review it a little bit before I put it back up. So these PowerPoints are exactly what I'm going to speak to in class. So you can feel free to download these, do whatever you want with them. That's perfectly fine. I will be attempting to record our class sessions so that I can make new videos, because my videos are a little bit old. So I want to make some new videos this term. So I will be doing that. If it works, that's great. If it doesn't, then I'll figure something out. But those videos can be made available to you if you want to review them. So that's what we've got there. Other things that you'll see in here, you'll see the lab materials. All of the paperwork that goes with the labs is present here. Now I will be giving you physical copies of all of this stuff in class. You'll get the first lab on our first day together when we do our introduction, and then all the rest of them you will get subsequent to that. There are copies here in case you lose your copies, and we'll talk about exactly what happens with these in class, okay? But there is documentation that goes there. We will be using these forms exactly as printed. I'll actually show you this one because it doesn't have all the intro stuff. So this is the objective, the introduction, all of that stuff. This is exactly what you're going to do in the lab. And then there's some places for you to write down your data, right? One of the things that you'll see is a pre-lab. You're supposed to do this before you come to class. When I will sign off on this. If I have not signed off on it, I will not allow you to go to the lab. because this is something that we expect you to have answered so that you're prepared to do that lab and you aren't a danger to yourself or anybody else. So that will be required before you're allowed into class, and I will sign off on that. If I have not signed it, I will not grade it. That is part of your lab score. Now, here's where you record all of your data. You are not required to keep a lab notebook, but you are absolutely required to use pen on these documents. You can do your calculations outside of this paperwork and then copy it into this calculations-wise. Data needs to be written directly in here. You can't save it on a piece, random piece of paper, because that might get lost. So you need to make sure that that does not happen. Okay, so that's something we need to make sure that you're not doing. So all of your data will get stored here. Then you'll have a bunch of calculations that you need to do. Those are for after lab. You can feel free to stay in lab and do them, or you can do them on your own. Entirely up to you. Bunch of stuff, calculations. And then there's a post lab. That also will be turned in with all of this. So what's going to happen is you're going to write all of this stuff out, and then you're going to either take pictures or scan these and turn them into me through the assignments. Now, I would prefer if they were one PDF document. That would make my life a lot easier, but I will be grading this. You will get both your lab score and your post-lab score from that, but I need to have all of that turned in. And if I don't see it, I won't be able to grade it. The only other things that are going to get turned in as assignments, I need your, the scratch work is here just in case you have to take an exam online. Those are not required for people who are not taking online exams. Obviously, I expect you to write that stuff on your test. But there is the post lab for stoichiometry that will get turned in here as well. So that is everything that you need to see from that. There are quizzes that go with the lectures. Okay, they start with lecture 2. So we'll do lecture 1. When it comes to the second lecture day, you have a quiz to take that day. Now, it's open until the end of that day. So that lecture is supposed to take place on January 2nd, January 10th for my my first, or my fast forward course. And so you have until the end of that day to take it. That quiz is about the materials that we talked about in lecture 1. So it's a review from lecture 1, and it's about the topics for lecture 2 to try and get you ready for what we're going to be talking about. Okay, those topics come directly from the content. So if you open up lecture 2, what you'll see is that here are our topics. If it's not in this list, it shouldn't be on your list of topics. And all of the review is stuff that we've done out of chapter 1. So the first lecture that we do. So that material is based on that. Okay. Now, hopefully that takes care of that. I don't think there's a ton of other stuff. We will have discussions. I will talk about that a little bit later. Your introductory discussion ends on January 14th, which is when all of the other intro quizzes are due. So you'll need to make sure that you do that, and you'll need to get signed into ALEKS. Now, ALEKS is an online learning system. We use it for our homework, and there's a link for it in the course documents. It's right here. There's also a link for this. Oh, there it is, right there, so that you can go directly from here into ALEKS. Now, I'm not going to take you into that because it's going to look different from my view than it does from yours. You'll need to make sure that you take there's an introductory quiz that they give you, and you have to do that. There's no way I can turn it off. Its purpose is for people who are using ALEKS in an adaptive mode to see how much you actually know. Don't worry about that, okay? It actually doesn't matter what you score on that. You just need to go through it, okay? Just go through it to get past it. That's really what it comes down to, because we're not using it in an adaptive fashion anyway, so it's not important. But if you want to take it as an actual adaptive quiz to see how much you know, that's fine. Be aware that it is designed for the course as they intend it to be taught and not how we teach it. There are differences in the materials we teach in first session versus what they teach. So there will be some material that you'll see there that we won't be covering this term. Okay. I think that's everything. One other thing I will tell you, my availability is listed here. This is the sign that goes on my door. So you can see the hours that I'm on campus. Monday after class, I am remote. So there is that. My office hours are 1 to 3 online on Monday. I have office hours Wednesday from 10 to 12, and then from 1 to 3, and then Thursday from 11 to 3 p.m. Okay. I'm on campus on Tuesday as well. We have lab in the morning, and then after that lab, I have a lecture and another lab on Tuesday. So there is another class I will be teaching those days. But this is my availability. If you are not able to meet with me and need to meet with me outside of class, I'm perfectly willing to make those arrangements. I may not be able to meet you in person at other times. So we may have to do that via WebEx. I have every confidence that I can do that, that we can manage that, but that is something that we may have to do. It's I can't spend all of my time on campus. So I think that's everything. I will warn you that I am not on campus very much on Friday. So I do come in a little bit early on Friday, I teach my lecture, and then I leave directly after that. So Fridays are my days off. Okay. All right. So I think that's everything I want to tell you. I'll walk through the rest of it when we get into class. But again, welcome. I hope we have a great semester, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks. Stopping somewhere. Have a good day.